There's a moment when everything shifts. You stop sending that long message. You stop explaining how you feel. You stop trying to make them understand you. And suddenly the same person who kept pulling away starts leaning in. They text first. They stay longer. They think about you more. And it feels confusing, almost unreal, because you didn't do more, you did less. If you've ever felt stuck in that exhausting cycle where they come close then disappear, where you feel like you're always one step away from finally being chosen, this is where everything changes. Because the truth is, it's not your love that's pushing them away. It's how that love is being communicated. And once you understand this, you stop chasing and start attracting. Avoidants don't respond to emotional intensity the way most people expect. In fact, the very things that feel natural to you, opening up more, expressing deeper feelings, trying harder to connect, can have the opposite effect on them. When you lean in with more emotion, they don't always feel loved. They feel pressure, not because your emotions are wrong, but because they don't know how to process that level of closeness without feeling overwhelmed. When you try to fix the connection, to talk things through, to create clarity, to bring you closer, they don't always feel supported. They feel trapped, like something is being expected from them that they're not ready to give. And when you give more time, more energy, more understanding instead of feeling grateful, they feel like they're losing control of their space, their independence, their emotional safety, so they go back to what feels familiar. They create distance, they go quiet, they disconnect, not because they don't care, but because the connection is starting to feel too real, too deep, too consuming for what they can currently handle. And this is where the pattern becomes painful, because the more they pull away, the more you feel the need to move closer. You try to explain better, you try to love harder, you try to prove that you're safe, that you're worth choosing. But that effort, that emotional pursuit, only reinforces the very dynamic that pushes them further out of reach. Because here's the truth. Most people don't want to accept. You can't chase someone into choosing you. And when your energy becomes about convincing, proving, or holding on, they don't feel safe coming closer. They feel the need to escape, and the cycle continues until something changes. Avoidants are not drawn to pressure, urgency, or emotional intensity, even when it's coming from someone who truly cares about them. In fact, the more you push, the more they pull away. This is counterintuitive for most people, because our instincts tell us that showing how much we care, explaining ourselves endlessly, or proving our loyalty will bring them closer. But for an avoidant, these actions often trigger the very fear they're trying to suppress. The fear of losing independence, or being overwhelmed by emotions they aren't equipped to manage. What they are actually drawn to is something entirely different: emotional safety. Emotional safety is not about constant reassurance, grand declarations, or intense vulnerability. It's subtle, it's quiet, it's the feeling that being around you doesn't come with hidden demands or expectations. It's the sense that your presence is steady, consistent, and non-pressuring. This safety is communicated through calmness and grounded energy. It's giving them space while remaining connected. It's showing that your life is full, balanced, and centered, not revolving entirely around them. When you communicate with this kind of energy, you are not chasing, explaining, or begging for validation. You are simply existing in your truth, letting them see who you are, without trying to control the outcome. And something remarkable happens when you do this. They become curious. Curiosity is a powerful magnet for avoidance, because it's completely different from what they're used to. They start noticing your independence, your calmness, and the confidence in your boundaries. They start wanting to know more, not because they feel pressured, but because your presence is intriguing, mysterious, and safe. Unlike pursuit, which triggers their withdrawal, this grounded, self-respecting presence makes them lean in. The more you embody calm and emotional stability, the more they feel naturally drawn to you, not because you're chasing, but because you've shown that connection with you doesn't come with chaos or neediness. It comes with space, respect, and presence. The first and most important shift in how you communicate with an avoidant is learning to say less but mean more. This may feel uncomfortable at first because our natural instinct is to explain ourselves, justify our feelings, and clarify every misunderstanding. We assume that if we can just make them understand us, they'll respond with closeness, reassurance, or commitment. But with avoidance, this often backfires. When you write long messages, or go into emotional detail, it can unintentionally feel heavy or pressuring to them. Every paragraph of justification, every sentence filled with worry or fear, can trigger their automatic response. Withdrawal. The very act of trying to be understood becomes overwhelming, and instead of connecting, you push them away. The shift is simple yet powerful. Speak less, but speak with clarity, confidence, and calm. Strip your communication of over-explaining, emotional pleading, or unnecessary justification. Keep it grounded, keep it neutral, keep it intentional. For example, instead of sending a long message like, "I feel like you've been distant lately, and it's making me anxious. I really care about you and I don't want to lose this. Can we talk about what's going on?" You simplify it to, "I've noticed some distance. I'm open to talking if you are." Notice the difference. One is heavy, fearful, and demanding. They feel pressure to respond or explain themselves. The other is simple, neutral, and non-demanding. They feel invited, not chased. This approach doesn't mean you are hiding your feelings or avoiding honesty. It means you are communicating your awareness and your availability without overloading their emotional capacity. It signals self-respect, calmness, and balance, qualities that naturally draw avoidance in rather than push them away. When you say less but mean more, you create space for curiosity, engagement, and willingness to connect. You stop the push-pull cycle, and instead create a rhythm where they feel safe to lean in on their terms without feeling cornered or pressured. This is the foundation of truly magnetic communication with an avoidant. One of the most frustrating patterns in relationships with avoidants is their cycle of inconsistency. One moment they're attentive, warm, and engaged. The next they pull away, go silent, or act distant. For most people, the natural response is to chase, to overcompensate for their absence by giving more, explaining more, or doing whatever it takes to win them back. When you respond this way, even subconsciously, you're sending a message. No matter how unpredictable you are, I'll always be here for you. And while that might feel loving in the short term, it actually reinforces the very pattern you want to change. Inconsistency gets rewarded, and the hot and cold cycle continues. Avoidants don't become more reliable when over-pursued. They become more accustomed to the idea that their withdrawal won't have consequences. The shift is simple, but it requires discipline. You stay consistent with yourself regardless of their behavior. Your calm steadiness becomes the new norm. When they pull back, you don't chase. You don't bombard them with messages, or over-explain why you miss them. You allow the space they created to exist without reacting emotionally. When they return, you don't over-reward them with extra attention or affection to compensate for their absence. You respond in a neutral, grounded way. For example, if they message, "Hey, I've been busy lately," your response could be, "Good to hear from you. Hope things are going well." Notice what's happening here. You're neither punishing them for their absence, nor acting like nothing matters. You're simply steady, present, and calm. That steadiness communicates self-respect, emotional balance, and reliability, qualities that avoidants respect, even if they don't immediately reciprocate. By refusing to reward inconsistency, you shift the dynamic from chaotic push-pull to a pattern of predictability and stability. Over time, this encourages avoidants to either step up and meet you consistently, or reveal that they are not ready for that level of connection. Either way, you gain clarity, self-respect, and emotional power. One of the most common mistakes people make with avoidance is overwhelming them with too much emotion at once. Avoidants are wired to protect their independence and emotional space. So, when they sense that a conversation is about to become heavy, intense, or emotionally loaded, their natural instinct is to shut down. They don't do this because they don't care. They do it because they need to preserve their sense of control and safety. When every interaction becomes an emotional dumping ground, where all frustrations, fears, and feelings are expressed at full force, they start to associate you with pressure. This is a critical point. Emotional dumping doesn't create connection. It triggers avoidance. The very intensity that you think will draw them closer often pushes them away. This doesn't mean you should hide your emotions or deny your feelings. It means learning to regulate them. Instead of unloading everything at once, you pace yourself. You express what needs to be said in a way that's digestible, non-threatening, and safe for them to receive. This communicates emotional maturity, calmness, and respect, not manipulation or suppression. For example, instead of saying, "We need to talk about everything that's been happening and how I've been feeling," I can't handle it anymore unless you explain yourself. You could say, I'd like to talk about something when you're ready. Notice the difference. The first message is heavy, urgent, and pressuring. They feel trapped. The second is simple, calm, and respectful. They feel invited, not cornered. By regulating your emotional expression and avoiding overloading them, you create space for them to engage without feeling suffocated. This doesn't only preserve the connection, it strengthens it. They begin to associate you with calm, safety, and grounded presence. Over time, this builds trust and curiosity, encouraging them to open up on their own terms rather than shutting down in response to emotional intensity. This is the power of communication without emotional dumping. It keeps the connection alive, maintains your dignity, and naturally draws an avoidant closer. One of the most powerful ways to shift the dynamic with an avoidant is by becoming less available, but more valuable. When you are constantly at their disposal, replying immediately, adjusting your schedule, or prioritizing their needs over your own, you inadvertently remove an essential element that keeps avoidants intrigued: mystery and independence. They are naturally drawn to people who maintain a life outside of them, who are self-contained and confident, rather than someone who is always there waiting to respond. This doesn't mean playing games or being manipulative. It means creating a life that has boundaries, priorities, and standards. It means recognizing that your time and attention are valuable, and that you are not defined by how available you are for someone else's emotional rhythm. When you take this approach, your interactions carry weight, because they are intentional, not automatic. For example, instead of immediately responding to every message, you might say, "I'm a bit busy today, I'll get back to you later." This simple shift communicates that your life is full, that your time is respected, and that your attention is not something to be taken for granted. To an avoidant, this is magnetic. They begin to notice your independence and self-sufficiency, and it naturally triggers curiosity and engagement. Absence in the right context creates space for them to move toward you instead of pulling away. By being less available, you stop reinforcing the pattern of taking them for granted, and by being more valuable through your confidence, boundaries, and consistent self-respect, you increase your emotional impact. Avoidance, respect, and respond to someone who doesn't collapse under the weight of their unpredictability, but instead maintains calm, grounded energy. In essence, this shift is not about withholding affection or attention. It's about reclaiming your own energy, creating balance, and showing that connection with you comes from choice, not convenience. And when you do this, your presence becomes magnetic, your interactions intentional, and your relationship dynamic, healthier, and more engaging. Understanding why this communication approach works requires a look at how avoidants are wired. At their core, avoidants are deeply protective of their independence. Their emotional system is designed to maintain autonomy and avoid situations where they feel overwhelmed, trapped, or pressured. When a connection starts to feel too intense or demanding, their natural response is to deactivate. This deactivation can take many forms. They distance themselves, detach emotionally, withdraw from communication, or even go completely silent. It's not a reflection of lack of care. It's a survival mechanism designed to protect their inner equilibrium. This is precisely why traditional approaches over-explaining, chasing, or trying to force closeness often backfire. When you increase emotional pressure and avoidance defenses rise, they retreat further, and any attempts to pull them in feel futile. The key is removing that pressure. When communication becomes light, calm, and non-demanding, it creates a space where an avoidant no longer feels threatened. They are able to lower their defenses without feeling vulnerable or cornered. This doesn't happen overnight, but over time, your calm, grounded presence begins to signal that being close to you is safe, not overwhelming. Once their defenses lower, something remarkable happens. The feelings they've been suppressing start to surface. They begin thinking about you more, noticing your presence, and reflecting on what it feels like to connect without pressure. Gradually, they start reaching out, initiating contact, and moving closer on their own terms. This is the power of doing less, not more. By stopping the chase and over-functioning, you give them the freedom to respond authentically. Their approach toward you becomes voluntary, rather than reactive, intentional, rather than compelled. In other words, You create an environment where closeness grows naturally, not because you pressured it, but because you gave them the space and safety to want. This is the psychology behind magnetic, avoidant, friendly communication. The beauty of this communication style is that it's not about controlling someone or manipulating their feelings. It's about being honest with yourself and with them, showing up in a way that reflects your value, boundaries, and self-respect. When you adopt this approach, you're no longer caught in endless cycles of chasing, explaining, or trying to fix someone else's emotional availability. Instead, you create a clear, steady space where the truth of the relationship naturally unfolds. And here's the reality. One of two things will happen. Either they will rise to meet you. They'll show up with more consistency, more presence, and more effort than they ever have before. Or they will step back entirely, revealing that they were never ready or capable of matching your energy, commitment, or emotional clarity. Both outcomes are victories. Why? Because you are no longer entangled in uncertainty or stuck in patterns that drain your emotional energy. You've removed the guessing games, the over-explaining, and the endless worry about whether they care enough. True attraction does not come from trying harder, pleading more, or chasing someone's attention. It comes from being grounded, calm, and fully in control of your own emotional state. When you communicate from that space, you radiate confidence, stability, and self-respect. You don't just attract attention, you command it. You show that your time, energy, and presence are valuable, and that connection with you is something to earn, not something to take for granted. And the right person, the person who aligns with your energy, values, and standards, won't need to be convinced to choose you. They will step forward willingly, naturally, and consistently. Meanwhile, anyone who cannot meet you at that level will reveal themselves without you having to chase, pressure, or compromise your standards. That clarity, that empowerment, is the ultimate win. In the end, it's not about forcing love.